What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Enigmatica 6, and today we're going to be doing some automated farming. Now, it was suggested to me that I start out all my videos from here on out in this perspective so that you guys could see me and it'd be a little bit more of a personable way to start out every episode. We can have a nice little chat together for a minute or two before we jump into all the modded Minecraft fun. But there is clearly one critical flaw with that plan, and if you can't already tell what it is, even though I think it's pretty blatantly obvious, it is caused by this nifty item right here. Something that I stumbled across when I was first starting out in this world that I claimed last episode is extremely overpowered. It clearly has one area where it's extremely underpowered, and we're seeing that right now. So it's mitigated a little bit by the fact that I am now wearing some armor so you can tell where I am. But if I wasn't, well, then I'd just be a floating green claw that you guys would have talking to you. So eventually, I'm sure I will find something to replace the Scarf of Invisibility, and I'll be able to actually look at you guys while we're doing these intros. But for now, you guys can just get a nice little chuckle out of it, and I'm still going to start every episode this way. So hopefully I have some nice looking gear because that's all you're going to be seeing for a little bit. Now, we do need to get back on track for today's episode because there's a lot of stuff to take care of. I have a very cool but relatively ambitious project plan for today, and it's all centered around automated farming. It's not going to be farming for food for me to eat, though. It's going to be farming for food to be converted into biofuel, which will then be converted into ethylene, and then that's going to go through a gas-burning generator and net us a whole bunch of power. Now, I tend to think that the gas-burning generator setup from Mechanism is one of the best mid-game power generation sources out there, and I'm really excited to try it out when I actually have access to another mod that can do automated farming, because that is one of the few things that Mechanism actually lacks. So today, we're going to be putting the Immersive Engineering Garden Cloche to good use and using that to do a bunch of automated farming to get us a ton of melon slices. And then next episode, those are going to go into the whole Mechanism setup and we'll see just how much power I can get. Now, the reason I'm doing this right now is because obviously I've got some more machines lined up here, and these are all totally fine being powered by the lapidary dynamos. I actually have some upgrades that I can throw in these that I've come across while I've just been doing some quests, but regardless, there's two things that I want in the near future that these will not be able to support. And that is number one, automated mining, and number two, a new storage system. So something like refined storage, I think that's what I'll go with. But it's becoming a little bit of a mess around the base right now. There's some seriously cluttered chests and also grabbing stuff from chests, crafting, going back, crafting again. It's becoming way too much of a pain. So ironically, I just basically said over the course of 30 seconds that I don't want to mine and I don't want to craft. So I'm essentially saying I don't want to play the game I'm playing. But if you played modded Minecraft to any degree, basically, I'm sure you agree with me that when you have all this crafting you got to do and all these crazy recipes and they require so many ingots, that those are two things that you should take care of really quickly. And so I need power to do both of those, and this isn't going to cut it, unfortunately. So the name of the game today is to set up the automated farming. Next episode, we'll deal with the Mechanism stuff. But on top of doing the automated farming today, we're going to be doing some building. So today we are going to be building a greenhouse, and it's actually kind of funny if you think about it, because the Immersive Engineering Garden Cloche, and we're going to have a ton of these inside the greenhouse, but these things are basically miniature greenhouses, so we're going to have a ton of mini greenhouses inside one enormous greenhouse. So regardless though, it's going to look super cool. I'm thrilled to see how this whole thing turns out, but before we can even do building, I got to clear out this nice little wooded area over here because obviously we would not be able to build anything large enough to do the automated farming I want if I didn't chop down a bunch of these trees and apparently clear out all the bad guys that have seemed to make this forest their home for some reason. They're asking to get slapped, so it's going to happen. But regardless, the plan is to clear out this, do some building. That guy's giving me the stink eye. Then we'll go inside, take care of a bunch of the modded Minecraft crafting, and then finally we can come back out and fill up the clearly awesome looking at that point greenhouse that you guys will all ooh and awe over in the comments, hopefully. And that'll be it for the episode. And I do want to say one thing. I am so excited for one block today. One block, and you might have noticed it. This bad boy right here, the sink from cooking for blockheads, the infinite water source that everyone talks about on my Mechanism videos that they use to supply all the water they need. I finally get to use it. I am over the moon, guys. I am elated that I get to use this thing. So I cannot wait for that part of the episode, but I got to go craft myself an axe, hack down a bunch of these trees, and then we can hop back and do some serious building. Okay guys, so while I was in the process of clearing this out, I guess there is currently a solar eclipse going on. So I've been having a fun time dealing with some bad guys who decided to join me when it was supposed to be daytime. I was a little bit confused because I slept, and then all of a sudden it got dark out within like 3 minutes, and I had absolutely no idea why. And I was about to record, but then I started getting swarmed by all these guys who clearly just want to be a part of the fun. They want their 15 seconds of fame. So yeah, I think I'm going to wait until this is over, and then we can hop back and actually do some of the building. And I don't know why those guys are just chilling up there, but that's going to annoy me to no end too. So I'm going to have to go kill them later too. Unfortunately, their time has come. They are not allowed to reside without paying rent on top of my roof. Okay, so the eclipse is over. As you can see, it is finally light out again. I am not being brigaded by bad guys trying to kill me, which means we can get back to the regularly scheduled programming and talking about this greenhouse. So as you can see, the area has been cleared out. It's nice and open now. The trees have been cut down. Majority of the leaves have been dealt with. Even the underbrush has been completely destroyed. So we should be in the ideal conditions to build this greenhouse, and then I'll come back in later and fill in any open areas around it with some more shrubbery or trees or anything to make it look like it's still in the woods. We just need to have a nice open area to start with, because this is going to be a relatively large build. I want to fit probably about 20 to 25 garden cloche in there, and I don't want them packed like sardines, which means we need ample room to work with, especially because we're going to have piping and wiring and all that stuff too. So I think the best way to start out and just get a general sense of where stuff is going to go will be placing down the foundation of the base and getting a general floor plan. So I'm going to map that out using the same method we used with the base over there, just using pillars of oak logs. And I think I want it to start, let's say the entrance maybe right about here, and I want a 5 wide gap for the entrance, so it's going to be a big one. But we'll do that, and then we're going to come back 3. And I'm going to try and use similar spacing to what I did with the base over there. A lot of the building style is going to be very similar because I do want this style to match, but there are going to be differences too, so hopefully they'll look similar, but not identical. And then we're just going to come out again 3, and then another 3 like that, and then come back. So 1, 2, 3 like that. 1, 2, 3. And it's looking like this tree right here might be a little bit too close, so this guy might need to get cut down. But for now, we can at least continue laying out the floor plan. And then we're going to do another 3, and then this should be the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is so much harder to see the lines between blocks when it's coarse dirt. Oh my gosh. I was wondering why I seemed like I was going blind. And I guess it's not just me, it's the coarse dirt. I don't know if you guys think the same way that I do, but yeah, I feel like it's so much harder to count between the blocks with the coarse dirt. Oh my gosh. And then another 3 over here, and then another 3, and finally 1, 2, 3 right there. Those should be 3. So this is going to be the floor plan right here. Nothing crazy special. I think all the special stuff comes in the details and as we build it up, but this is going to be it. The entrance is almost going to be like a little overhang right here, and then this room right here is going to be the actual greenhouse portion of it, and the garden cloche will be some on that side, some on this side, and then we're probably going to have a basement where all the mechanism stuff happens. So I am going to speed through the building up of these pillars right here so that when we come back, we can start adding in some other details. Okay, so I believe the foundation and basic portions of the house are done. There's still a lot to do, but I think it's starting to come together. At least you can maybe sort of visualize where this is going. It's definitely not anything impressive yet, but I promise it will get there. Now, one thing I bet a lot of you guys have been wondering is, Rage, why are you using a diamond axe? Why haven't you made Tetra tools or any special tools yet? And also, why is it doing this weird thing in my hand? Maybe why were none of my tools damaged when I started the episode? All great questions with one simple answer. And that is, if we look at my trinkets, I came across a trinket which I think is crazy overpowered. I only have 3 unlocked right now. I want to get the 4th one as soon as I can. But this bad boy right here, the Mossy Ring, its rarity is epic, so I don't know how rare that actually is, but it's one of the rarest ones I have, and it slowly repairs held items. So that's what's currently going on as I'm holding this. It's doing that weird glitch because it's actually gaining back durability, so it's kind of like blipping in my hand. And I think I AFK'd with a completely broken diamond pickaxe, and it took about 20 minutes, maybe less, but I came back 20 minutes later after leaving the game open, and it was fully repaired like new. So I'm thinking this thing's a little bit overpowered, but right now I'm not too concerned with my tools because I can just go make myself some food, come back, and bam, new tools, good to go. So I think that's pretty cool. Definitely overpowered, but I wanted to show you guys that in case you were curious why this is doing this when I'm holding it. But now we can do a bit more building. So I'm going to be doing railings right here because this is going to kind of be the entrance. So we'll treat these like railings. Obviously they're fences, but this will be how we actually enter into the greenhouse. And now I want to put down glass because a greenhouse needs glass, and I'm going to be using connecting white stained glass. Now, the reason it's important to use this is because this is from connected glass. So it is going to be seamless with all the other glass around it. It looks so much nicer. And the way you make this is just by putting a 2x2 of regular glass to make the connected glass version. And then you can use white dye to make this. So if I put it down, you'll be able to see that it actually all connects instead of having white outlines for each one of these. And I think it looks really nice. Now, I did have the option of using and giving this a little bit more depth by using the panes for the window with the same exact glass that still connects. And that looked really cool until I put stuff down inside here right up against it. And then obviously the panes connect to that, and then it looks horrible. So that's the reason I'm not doing that. It's unfortunate because when I was planning this whole thing out, I thought those would be super cool to use, but unfortunately the plans fell through after you start actually putting stuff inside the greenhouse. So definitely sad that that didn't work out, but it's also occurring to me that I might need to make a little bit more glass. I might not have made a sufficient amount. We're going to be cutting it pretty close, but I'm going to put in as much glass as I pretty much possibly can. If you've seen a greenhouse before, you'll know. Oh no, I don't have silk touch. Oh no. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I should be a little bit more careful with that one. Oof, that hurts. Even losing one piece. If we're short by one piece, I'm gonna have to cry on camera. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're not gonna be short by one piece. We actually got all of these done, but I want glass for the main entrance. So I'm actually short multiple pieces, but it's totally fine to wait because I have some more that I want to put up there and up there, but I need to make the roof first so I can see where everything is meant to go. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is make the roof very similar to the roof over there, but not identical. And I'm going to speed through that very quickly, and that should give us a little bit more of a kind of an idea of how this base is going to look. So let's quickly go do that. Okay guys, so the next stage of building the greenhouse is done. I've made a lot of progress, and again, it's starting to look better, right? There's still a lot of color and stuff that has to be added to it so it pops. It kind of just looks like a big turd right now, honestly, but I am so done with roofing, right? This is so annoying to make. It is such a pain to do these huge roofs, especially like this, and this was like 10 stacks of stairs. I never calculate it right. I'm always coming back down and making more. And so this is where we are at currently. I really like how it turned out, but yeah, I do not want to have to make a roof for the foreseeable future. So you can see a couple other things that I added. I put a lot of lanterns around inside. I think they add some really nice color to it, and they look very aesthetically pleasing. It goes well with this idea. I also put the glass up top, and to mix it up a little bit, I used some stripped spruce logs up there. I do plan on using the same spruce trapdoor thing to kind of add some more depth up there too, but I'm going to save the ones I currently have for doing the next thing that I want to do, which is one of the last things, which is adding the cobblestone around the side and the planters. Okay, so I was a little bit short on cobblestone. I had to go run and grab some. I left a bunch in the base. Well, a bunch, meaning 25. I actually don't have much cobblestone in there. I have a bunch of all the other stone that I can mine, but not cobblestone. But I'm going to grab out the dirt, we have the trapdoors, and we're going to do the same sort of planter idea that I was doing before, using all the assorted leaves and stuff and all that. So right over here, maybe I do a single planter right here. And did I just move the trapdoors off my bar? No, they're over here. How did I miss those? And then we do the trapdoors like this, and then I could do maybe some mossy cobble, regular cobble, maybe put some regular cobble down there and right here. And then we can come over here and plant some berries, and maybe we have a poppy there. Who knows, right? You just gotta add a little bit of pizzazz here and there. And then over here, maybe we do some cobble, mossy cobble, regular cobble, and then we put some red leaves down there. Maybe we want some yellow ones too. You know, you just build up a couple and there you go. And then we'll come over here and we can do the same thing. So I'm going to do some more dirt here. We do some more trapdoors, another planter. But on this one, maybe I do some leaves there, and then we do maybe one thing of sweet berries and maybe some yellow leaves. And we build them up over here too. And then over here we'll do just some cobblestone. Oh, I guess there was something back there. And maybe we bust out some of the orange leaves on this one too. Maybe that'll look nice. We haven't used those yet, so we'll do that. Kind of build them around there. Build them up one, bring them around. Just kind of spread it out so it looks nice and natural. You got some cobble strewn about this. Then over here, we're just going to do the cobble again because we've been doing a couple of planters using a few too many leaves. So this one will just be cobblestone. So I'm going to go around and finish this up. I'm also going to have to sleep because I've been working through the night consistently just because I am too lazy to sleep and I want to get this done. But I'm going to finish this up and then we can hop back, and I believe that'll be really the last thing to do for building on this. Then we jump into making all the modded stuff that's going to go inside and then hooking that up. Okay, so it is finally done. The greenhouse has been constructed and we can move on to the modded portion of the episode. I apologize for those of you that don't like building, but I've been having a ton of fun with it and it seems like most of you have been enjoying it at least. So hopefully we have struck a healthy balance between the two. But I just want to quickly run through. This is what it looks like. I did realize that there were some missing stairs on this portion of each of the sides of the roof, so I fixed that, put in the trapdoors, but I think it really came together nicely. I'm sure I'll add more details onto this in the future. I got to add way more green around it on the ground because it's looking kind of weird now that there's no underbrush, so now I have to go back and replant that and bone meal it and everything. But I am super happy with how it turned out, so I'm curious to know what you guys think. Feel free to tell me in the comments if you got any suggestions to add on to this or anything like that. But I think it'll look even cooler once everything is inside. We have the immersive engineering wires going up to the ceiling and coming over, and all the garden cloche all over here. So now we need to go and get that stuff done, which means we get to do a nice little crafting extravaganza inside the base. And the first thing that we need to do is get to the garden cloche. So if we take a look at this, right, the reason I say that is obviously there's a couple things that we need. Now the red, or the, I was going to say red stained glass, the glass of whatever sort that we want. I hate that this cycles through all the miscellaneous kinds, but we have glass, that's easy. The other stuff though, like the iron mechanical component, that one just needs some plates, which we will get using the multi-servo press. I already have that bookmarked for us. We need that for a lot of different things today. We're going to need that for the wiring too. So that's one thing we need to make. We also have treated wood planks, and this one is really where it gets us in the kicker. We need to then get creosote, and we're going to be going with the immersive engineering creosote. And so I'm going to get this not by using a coke oven because I don't want to make one, and I think this might be slower to do, but I'm going to use the pyrolyzer from Thermal Series. And that way we're going to get less creosote. We're going to get half the amount per coal we put in, but I think it's going to probably be quicker and it's going to be way more compact to deal with. So I'm going to try out this route. It's what I think is an interesting way to kind of circumvent having to do the early game immersive engineering, but we'll see. And then I'm just going to use the fluid encapsulator to make the buckets of it so that we can use it to actually craft with. Then we'll move on to the workbench, get all that stuff taken care of. And we really just need to make some low voltage wire connectors, low voltage wire relays, some actual wire coils, which needs the copper wire, again, multi-servo press with the wire mold. And we can do all that pretty easily. We'll make the kitchen sink, and then I'll do the basic mechanical pipes, all that stuff, and then we'll be good. So I'm going to quickly run through, craft some of these thermal series, and then we'll hop back. We can use them a little bit, and then I will do the rest of the crafting. Okay, so all three machines have been made, so we're going to be able to place them down finally. And I got to make sure I do this in at least slightly the right order, because we want to make sure that the pyrolyzer is next to the fluid encapsulator so that we can set it to output directly to that so that we can then bucket the fluids. So we're just going to extend our cables down here. We'll put down the pyrolyzer, we'll put down the press over there, and then the encapsulator right there. So we're getting a little bit short on space in here. Might have to move these if we need a couple more machines, but this is getting power now, so we should be good to throw the coal in there. And I don't actually know if that's any faster than the coke oven now. I do think that's faster than the coke oven running back when I played Immersive Engineering, but we need to make sure we configure the sides, and we want that side to be the output for, that should output the fluid too, and that should be the only option. And then over here, we need the input to be there, and we need auto input enabled, I think. And then over here, we need auto output enabled. And there we go. Okay, so I have not used thermal series in a very long time, but thankfully it's very similar to configuring mechanism stuff. So we'll get coal coke out, not super concerned with that. Really all we care about is the creosote. And then I am going to just bucket that over, do some basic crafting with it. And unfortunately, I need to wait until we get more of the creosote, simply because the next step is going to be making the different molds in the multi-servo press. And unfortunately, the critical mold is going to be for the copper wire. And it'll be nice that I don't waste engineers' wire cutters losing durability doing this, and I don't feel like making a metal press, but that means that I do need to get the engineer's workbench with some plates and the wire cutters for those, some blueprints, but I also need the workbench itself, which is going to need some treated wood to make. So right now I'm going to be waiting on that, so I'm probably going to cut here, and then we'll do another crafting sort of montage where I actually finish up getting all this stuff ready. And when we come back, then I should be in a position where I can craft all the garden cloche that we need, craft up the remaining mechanical pipes that we need, the kitchen sink, and then we can go over and set this all up and call it an episode. Okay, so the crafting extravaganza is coming to an end. There is one thing left to make, and it is what I have spent so much time working towards, and that is 24 garden cloche. And there we go. Oh my goodness, guys, you have no idea. I probably just did about 45 minutes of crafting and really tried to cram it down for you guys so that it wouldn't be super boring. But I have a ton of mechanical pipes that we're going to need for the water. I have the kitchen sink. I'm not going to lie, with these blueprints, I thought I was pretty smart with the sawdust, because there are no sugarcane anywhere near me right now. So, but we've got the relays that we need, the wire connectors, everything we could possibly need for this. It took forever to make, and I was saved, thankfully, by this thing right here, the reinforced integral components. It 3x's the pretty much everything about these, right? The maximum use, the rate that it runs at, all of that, the amount of energy it stores. And if we look over here, this lapidary dynamo can produce 240 RF per tick now by combining an auxiliary reaction chamber with one of those. Then this one just has one of these in here. But let me tell you, the rewards for these quests when you complete them are OP. And it looks like I can complete this quest now and get that. And I don't know if I have any other quests that I can complete right now, but getting some of these quests done over here and getting the random rewards, man, are those things overpowered. But now I think we should be good to head on over. I will say, though, that I don't actually have the stuff that I need to farm today, and this guy is just chilling up there right now. That looks like such a silly outfit, and he can't even get to us. The treble hook. Okay, well, let's take a look at what that is, just to see. Is this overpowered because we just unlocked it? You will get triple rolls from fishing. Wow. Okay, well, if I ever go fishing, I'm definitely going to use that. I'm not going fishing, but if I ever do, I'll use that. So now we are in here and we are good to set this up. So the way that these work, and I'm just going to run them like 3 here, and we'll do 3 here, and then we're going to do the same thing right over here. So I'm going to slap all these down, and then we can quickly run through how they actually work in case you guys do not know. So the critical stuff right now, we're not going to deal with any of the outputs, which will be on the front, but on the back, there is one critical input, which is right here. It is the water input. You need water for these to run. And then there is the power input, and that's all over, right? That's what, this is right here on the side, but it's also on the top. If I have any block in my inventory I can use to actually get up there, apparently the only thing I have, I'll build with terracotta. You can see this is where the input is going to be. You don't need to input it on the top, but you can. I believe the side also works, but we're going to be doing it from the top. And so we're going to do water in the back using the infinite supply from the sink and the basic mechanical pipes. It does not need a very high flow, so we don't need to worry about that. These can all run at their highest rate, not with fertilizer necessarily, but they can all run at their base highest rate with the power coming in just through low voltage coils, and they will never run out. And so I am going to run the connectors all the way across the top right here. Oh, it's right. You got to shift click these on, and I'm going to put all of these down, just like that. And then I'm going to have to go around to each of these and do that same exact thing. And then we're going to, not super interesting, but run the cables all the way along the backs of these, or the fluid pipes all along the back. And can we reach everything from right here in the center? We totally can. Look at that efficiency. So we'll slap these down, and these are what we're going to use to connect the immersive engineering wires to bring power to this. And again, for those of you that do not know, the connectors cannot connect to a ton of stuff, but the relays can. So we need relays all the way up at the ceiling to connect all the connectors to where we'll get the main power source, which will be coming from somewhere over here. So I'm just going to, for symmetry's sake, put one right there, put one right there. Then we want one right in the center right here. Then one over there, and one over here. Now comes one of the more annoying parts, which is very click intensive, which is click, click, and we just click we just click on all of these, and we connect them up to that relay up there. And then we're going to connect this relay right here to this relay right here. And then we're going to do the same exact thing. And this is just going to link all of them together. Obviously, this is also, it's just such low power transportation with these low voltage ones. But I think it looks really cool, right? I think this looks awesome right here. And I think it's going to look even cooler when these are growing things, because that's going to add, again, a little bit more color into it, because I do want to farm melons. Now, the weird thing about these, and I guess I can talk about this while we're doing this because there's not much else to say, but I've tested these, and when you farm melons, you get full melon blocks, right? So it's a little bit annoying because we're actually going to have, I guess it's not annoying because there is no randomness to the amount of melons you get. You're going to get the max amount per melon block. Unfortunately, though, we then need an additional processing step to finish them off, because we need to break down the melon into the slices, because if we process a single melon, we're only going to get 5 biofuel instead of 5 per slice. So definitely not optimal unless we break them down, but they do grow as full melons, and it's really cool. They can grow in here. So it actually only takes 1 block to do it, unlike a normal farm, which would take 2. So now we need to deal with the basic mechanical pipes going through these. And the way I'm going to do it is putting down 3 and 3. And then we're going to run the 3 over here, 3 right here. And then I'm going to run them underground here. And I'm just going to break my way down, because the one thing, and I don't know if there's anything in this pack that can be used as a facade, but in case there isn't, and I should have brought more of the spruce planks with me. I'm totally going to kick myself for this, but I guess I can deal with it later. The problem is we're going to be able to see down here. I'm not going to be able to get, oh, I can get back up. What? I swear this usually did not count as a full block. Okay, well, that's surprising, but I am going to have to come back later, and I don't know if there's anything we can use to cover this, mechanical pipe. I as far as I know, Mechanism doesn't have any. I believe the mod author even said that it's too difficult to do. But I don't know if there's anything else in here we can use to cover it up. If not, we just have to replace all this dirt with actual wood down there. But we're going to do that, and then I guess I should just break all the way down here using this to run it. And then we'll have to worry about this later when we do the basement next episode, because obviously this is going to be potentially in the way if we stick with that plan. But maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll have to think it through before next episode. But we're just going to run this right along down here and right over here. And it's occurring to me now, I'm going to need the configurator, because I need to adjust at least for... Oh, no, I'm stuck. Okay, well, I wish I had the configurator now so I could wrench that. But either way, I am going to need the configurator for adjusting the kitchen sink portion of this to pull, because that one is not going to auto output into these. So we should be good to cover this up now, except for in the very center. And that's where I'm going to put down the kitchen sink. And I really don't want to see it, so that's why I'm going to hide it down there. If there is a basement and we have like a processing area, then I'll put it down there because I wouldn't mind seeing it then. But I believe we got the configurator over here, and we could now go and configure that. And so this one should just be on items and shift right clicking it. So we'll put down the kitchen sink. I believe this should already have water in it. If we hold shift, you can see that it has 2.1 millibuckets out of 2.1 millibuckets. And it's treated as an infinite source. So we pull water and boom. Now all of these are filling up with water. So clearly we connected everything properly. The only thing is we're not actually going to see this in action today, unfortunately. Everything is hooked up properly. We obviously need to connect this to power. So if I wanted to, I could bring over one of those lapidary dynamos and connect it. But I do just want to wait and get the mechanism set up going and then just jumpstart it next episode and then have it start running rather than run this off of some random power source right now. The other issue is that I don't actually have the melon seeds that I want. So basically the way this works is we'll put the block it would grow in down here or grow on down here. So dirt, and then up here you would put the seeds you want. So melon seeds. And then over here is where it pops out your seeds, your plants, whatever you're getting. And then we will pull that out from it. So we still have a lot of work to do in here to get this finished, but the building is done. The automated farming setup is finished. I just need to go out and actually find myself some melon seeds. And if I can't find those yet, we'll settle for something different at the start. But I suspect since I have time until next episode, I'll have sufficient time to go and find them and do some exploring. But until then, there is one other thing that I do want to cover, because there were some changes that I made over to the base over here. So I can sleep right now because I want it to be daytime, and I can run through them because I did make a couple different changes over here. So right here, this was the big issue that I had, the doors. And you guys suggested to me in the comments, a lot of people, that I should... What? Oh my god. Oh my god, he scared me. Oh no, now I'm gonna have to deal... Oh, why did I do that? That was so stupid. Okay, well, it's a good thing we're finishing up the episode. I don't even have any milk to deal with the debuff, but regardless, okay. That scared me so bad, guys. Holy crap. Okay, well, as I was saying, the suggestion was to flip the doors around, and then I could do the same wall style that I had. So that's exactly what I did. But I also want to say that this wall style was suggested to me by Lizzie from the Discord. So I do appreciate all the suggestions that I get. I apologize if I don't appropriately credit people all the time, because I get so many suggestions for building from you guys, and they're in the Discord and the comments, and they are all so appreciated. But yeah, so I have gotten a lot of these, improvements from suggestions, including both the wall style here, and also to flip the doors, and it's the same on this side over here too. Again, flip the door, and it lets me actually add in this wall with some depth without it looking weird. So I appreciate all the suggestions and helping me kind of get this stuff going. I'm super happy with how everything's turning out, and I would not have been able to do all this stuff without your guys' help on a lot of it. So hopefully you guys think this looks absolutely awesome. We get a full view right now from the outside with the inside filled with stuff. I love how it looks. It'll look even better when it's growing and there's machines in there processing it. And it's ironic because it's a greenhouse, but really it's going to be a power plant. So I'm going to keep calling it a greenhouse because I think it looks more like that. But it's basically a power plant. that'll be more friendly to the environment. So that's never a bad thing. But I think that's where I'm going to call it for today, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed the sped up clips of the building and the crafting. I'm still testing those out. It seems like you guys like them because I can do stuff on camera and keep you kind of involved in what's going on and not skip a bunch, but it's also not crazy boring for you guys to watch, and it's not an hour-long episode. But I'm super happy with the progress we made today, and next time we'll hop back and we'll do the mechanism stuff. So hopefully you look forward to that. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later.